Hi, welcome to the Lissa Goodman Show. And today I have Sophie Sheesh with me. I can't tell you how excited I am to have this woman. I met her 5 years ago, and she had started the first revolutionary infrared sweatshop, or it's called Shape House. I call it the sweatshop. That doesn't sound so good. But I met her at the Shape House, and I fell in love the minute I met her because she's so full of life. She's French American. She is like an entrepreneur. She's revolutionary in what she's doing to help the health and wellness arena. She's also a Harley bike rider, which is so incredible. She is one of the sexiest ladies. When I get with her, I just want to hug her and I want to touch her. And I know that sounds a little funny, but she's here today with me to talk about Shape House because this whole thing that she's developed. There are 6 of them. There are 2 more on the way. She has had 30,000 plus people go through her doors to sweat with an infrared sweat. It is really, really powerful for health and mental well-being and for weight and for all kinds of detoxing, which I believe in because I'm the cleanse expert. So, and she's also dealt with some weight issues over her life and that we're going to actually dive into. At the beginning, we're going to dive into those because I'm really fascinated with all this weight stuff that we talk about these days. And there was something recently with somebody like who's on Broadway, and I think she's going to be on a movie. Is it Beanie Feldman? She was talking about how she had lost some weight. Everybody was so focused on her weight. So Sophie, like, is this, let's talk about how much we are focused on our weight and how it really doesn't do good things for us, right?
Well, hi.
Yeah, hi, sorry. I just dove right in.
No, I love it. Well, my personal journey
Yes.
was that I did reach 340 pounds. So I've lost about 200 of them. Did you still think about it? And I said, I still do, very much so. And the journey was interesting because it became, like when people ask me what I do for a living, for a while it was like, I'm taking care of food itself was relevant, but the emotional component of why did I build a castle around myself
Right.
was a very interesting question to me, more than green beans or chocolate cake.
Right.
So there was always a quest for me of understanding what is it that I make those choices that maybe I'd never witnessed people dealing with their food in a healthy way. So it was really, I call it a journey. It was very much like a lot of what I am and what I know now and what I love now, and the birth of Shape House that you
Right.
mentioned. All of that, a lot of it is the result of having had to deal with this journey.
Right. You're a seeker.
I am.
You are a seeker in
I
every
am.
way, like with all of
I
it, not
am.
just with the Shape House, but with your health, with your
Yes.
mental well-being.
Very much so.
So this weight, it's a combination of things, right? It's emotional. It's just, like you said, you built this fortress around yourself. You were protecting yourself.
Yeah.
From
There was this one moment that I kind of credit as the turning point where it was maybe 2 o'clock in the morning and I woke up feeling very disturbed, and I thought Nutella is going to solve a problem for sure. And I went to the fridge and I pulled a chair. Literally, I'm in the fridge. There's a chair. There's the light from the fridge, which is, as we
Wow.
know, so lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I mayonnaise, and I want to eat everything that's there because now we know the sweetness, the fat, all of that is really calming my nervous system. And I said to myself, you can have all these things, but first you're going to feel what it feels like right now to be with you and to be you. And I sat in that fridge and
with the light shining in
I
your
didn't close the
face.
fridge, and I felt my feelings, and there were a lot of them because
Yeah.
for a lot of my life I stuffed a lot of what I couldn't feel or didn't think I was allowed to feel or was told not to feel as a child. And
Right.
there was actually a sweet moment as well in that journey where my daughter hurt herself. We were in the Alps where I kind of grew up, and ice cream, Nutella,
Right,
crepes. Why don't I
right,
make you crepes? And my
right.
daughter is sitting there going like, I'm just hurt. Why?
Yeah, why are you trying to
why
give
are
me
you doing that?
yeah.
And I remember looking at it that all along, really because she can't feel her feelings and she doesn't
Right.
know what to do with this thing that's
Right.
boiling or sad or angry or whatever those things are. So it's desperate. It's fearing the future. It's very lonely. There was just something really, and I just had the courage because I knew when I was done that I could actually dive in the Nutella, and guess what? It was very sombering and very humbling to just be like, I'm just sad. Like, why have I been told that it's a crime of sorts? And because it isn't. And I went to go get, I've not touched sugar in 10 years. I don't do any processed sugar.
Okay.
And I only do fruit that's not super heavy in sugar, because it triggers more desire for sugar. And that's one of the big secrets along the way for me, was the more I eat some of those foods, the more I want some of those days.
Yeah.
So maybe in the course of the last 10 years, when my cat passed away, there was this incredible sadness that I did not know what to do with. I was just so sad, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I went, I'm doing it to help my sadness while the cat just died, and then I'll be done.
Right.
Like so it'd be, you know, I wouldn't go back to like this like ridiculous habit of like, you know, stuffing Nutella down my throat, you know, which really used to tend to do Nutella when I was sad, you know, like a soothing kind of like very maybe motherly kind of like gentle gooey type of thing. And then I would do chips when I was upset, because it's crunchy and it makes you do all these things with your mouth.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, anxiety.
And so I started tracking, you know, what kind of feeling do I have when I want what kind of food. It became like an adventure. Like, it became so exciting to go after okay, I'm eating chips. Okay, great. So what's going on? And I would have the courage to track it down and be like, I'm really pissed at this, whatever person it would have been.
Right.
And then I would, you know, have the courage to go and try to address the situation, and all of a sudden not want the chips. It's that simple. To me, it's that simple.
I was just gonna, like, how would you say, what are the things that you use right now that help you address these situations? Because we all have this stuff still going on in our lives.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't.
No matter what weight you are.
I was going to say,
yeah.
There's a lot of people that, you know, don't have the weight to show for it, but still have a lot of these behaviors. One of my favorite ones is to look at food as an act of self-love.
Okay.
And to really treat each bite. It's something I'm putting in my body. I mean, other than this other thing we do where we put things in our body.
Right.
That's also could be delicious or not. It's very apparent to me that it's an act of, you know, something is coming inside me, and I just have to really watch what that is. And at first, when I was losing a lot of the weight, I would virtually decide to do something, and I would decide to do the opposite, because I knew that the choice, my initial choice, would often be
not the right one,
up on the scale as opposed to down. So that's an important one.
So you really tapped into your intuition, your instincts.
And I do think that a lot of what happened to me, I think it happens to a good amount of people, is that our inner messages are very confused. I think we're told, you know, I'm going outside, you know, wear a sweater, I'm not cold, wear a sweater, I'm not cold, wear a sweater. And it's like, no, I'm really not cold. I think
allowed.
You know, eat now, it's lunchtime, and I'm like, I'm not hungry. And then I come back from school, I'm hungry. Well, it's not time, you have to wait for dinner. It's like, how do I know? And so I think we all have learned a version of, I need to fit in this societal thing, you know, that has nothing to do with what's going on.
Right, with you.
To my own, you know, like how many people I like trained to finish their plate. That's one of the biggest one for me. Like
that was big growing up. I mean, for me.
It's huge. I mean, my family, you know, the Holocaust survivors, you know, both of them. I mean, my mother Holocaust and my father Algerian War, not simpler.
Right.
So both of them really had to deal with, what do we eat tonight, or what do we feed, you know, our people tomorrow. And
there was a little deprivation, starvation.
So big. And my mother, to this day, she has no idea where her hunger, I see it, because I'm watching her, and I could tell that at some point she's satiated, you know, she's no longer hungry.
Right.
And then I see this like, oh, but I have to finish my plate.
Right.
It's like, why? And it's like this whole idea of wasting. Well, what do you think happens if you eat it?
Right.
Like, where does
where does
that go?
Exactly.
So in some way, it's like, am I wasting it? If I eat something, am I not wasting it even more? If I'm eating something that's hurting me, that's wasting me. I don't want. I'd rather waste what's in the plate.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So that was one of the biggest, for me, transformational habit, was to be okay if my plate was half full when I try. Actually, I remember a therapist. He was maybe a psychiatrist actually in France. But we started talking about food, and at the time I was, you know, 350 or the most I've ever been. Actually, I may have been more, because the digital scales at the time had a needle, and all I can tell you is that it banged at 350. After that, it could have been a little more.
Whatever it was, right.
Could have been more. And it was really like, wow, I'm now on the other side of, you know, that thing. Plus, I don't know if you know France, but being 350 pounds in France is, you know, like 700 pounds anywhere else.
Yes.
Because Paris is, you know, the capital of, you know,
double
O size pants. So there was this we were saying something right before that. Hold on. Paris, the weight, the scale.
Oh, you were having a psychologist, the
The
psychiatrist.
psychiatrist,
Yeah.
thank you. This incredible man who asked me what food was actually my most trigger moments. Like, where
Yeah.
would I go to, like, deal with?
Yeah.
And I've already said it 6 times, so obviously Nutella was
Right.
it.
Right.
And he said, great, tomorrow come back and bring a jar of Nutella with a spoon.
Huh.
And I was like, no, no,
Yeah,
why?
what are you talking
He's
about?
like, I'm
Right.
going to watch you eat
Yeah.
Nutella. And I was like, no, you're not. And he was like, yes, I am. It was my most shameful,
Yeah,
do it by
right.
myself in the
Right.
dark.
No one sees you.
No one sees it.
Now you had
No
to
one
go
sees
out
it.
in
It
public.
doesn't happen. You
Yeah.
know. So, but I trusted him, and I wanted to. Obviously, I was really interested in breaking all these habits. So I brought my jar, cute and courageous, and he said, "Okay, go for it." And I was like,
you
"What?"
couldn't do it, could you?
Well, I did. I did. It really goes down as one of the most difficult things
Yeah.
I've ever done. But he was very gentle and very loving, and there really was a kind of. It is one of my breakthrough moments.
Yeah.
Because after my 2 spoons, he said, "Do you want more?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Great, now trash it."
Wow.
And I was like, "No, I'm not trashing a 15,
Yeah.
whatever it was
Yeah.
at the time.
Right.
I'm not putting it in the trash." He was
Right.
like, "Well, guess what? You could buy another one on the way out." And I was like, "I'm not trashing it. It's waste." And he was like, "Trash it."
Wow.
And I literally remember walking to the trash, like, I
Yeah.
literally never
I mean,
touched
this is
Nutella after that, by the way, other than the cat.
Wow.
Other
Wow.
than the cat.
That is really profound. We're going to take a break right now, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about the sweatshop and infrared and how that all came about, because Sophie here is changing people's lives. I can't tell you how excited I am about the Alyssa Goodman Show. I've partnered with ready? Not ready. I have focus with Focus TV. My brain is like going whoop, whoop. I'm sorry. It's like, why is this so hard? Hey, all you need is a private chef and some Botox and a stylist, and you're good to go. Hi, back with the Alyssa Goodman Show and with Sophie Sheesh. And basically, we've been talking about her struggle with just getting healthy in every single way throughout her life. And she ended up starting a revolutionary place called the Shape House, which I think everybody that I know goes to the Shape House. I love a machine in the Shape House, the lymphatic massage machine, that is like every time I come out of there, I also had lymphatic cancer. So I have a very strong connection to it. And every time I come out of there, I also have, we talk about how cellulite, I'm always disturbed with the cellulite thing. And when I come out of there, my body looks different. It is phenomenal. Tell us how the Shape House came about.
So in the journey of losing weight, there was always this desire to do it well and do it healthy. Like there were ways to do it fast and not very healthy, which I tried in my teens that really were part of the journey, but didn't work very well because they didn't sustain. And so in the journey of trying to solve this thing, it was a quest. It was really, I started interviewing people that I thought were healthy, not necessarily thin, but had a relationship with their food that seemed healthy to me. Like they ate, they didn't obsess about their food, they weren't, writing books about their foods, they were just eating as a source of nutrients. And I was really interested in that. And one of my favorite one actually was, so I interviewed maybe 40 people, and it was all about what's your relationship with food? How do you make your choices? And what are your habits? And when do you eat what? And I was trying to, because I was completely clueless. Obviously, what I was doing got me to 340 something. So one of my interviews was a dear friend of mine, Vincent, who said that he made his choices based on how he wanted to feel after his meal. Like if he had an afternoon where he had to be sharp and alive and well, he didn't eat a bunch of bread and a bunch of sugar and a bunch of whatever. Mind you, he didn't eat too much of that in general. But some weekends where he knew he could go take a nap if he wanted, that is when he would do more of the carbs and he had identified that his body was responding differently to different foods, and therefore, depending on how it was very strategic. And that was my beginning to the whole idea of like, you've probably heard the term biohacking.
Yeah.
But this whole idea of like, this is a machine, this is a computer.
Yeah.
How does it work? And for me, for instance, if I start my day with carbs, by noon, I will want sugar, like I want, like you have no idea. Like it's one of those,
Right.
like
I think most
cannot
people-
stop myself.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if most
Well-
people, but what's interesting is everyone should identify their
Their
version
trigger.
of that. So if I do eggs in the morning, my entire day is actually a real choice. Because that was my problem. When I
Right.
would get to the Nutella jar, it was too late. And I really, truly didn't have a choice.
Right.
It was like the end of the jar, and I'd be like, how did I get here? Like, how did that happen? It
Right.
happened because I was unconscious. When you're unconscious, all of your inner conversation shuts down. Therefore, you can be at the end of the jar, not even know it happened.
True.
So there was a lot of work for me in the forgiveness arena, because I would be in a restaurant and I was still, you know, whatever, 300 pounds or some big weight. And the waiter would look at me like, really, you want some pasta? You sure? It's like, would you say that to anybody
Yeah,
else?
right.
Like, you know, but
No.
the culture is made to do that, you know, and kind of
Yes.
shame people that are overweight, particularly if you see them, you catch them in the act of, you know, eating foods we all know are going to make them gain weight. So that particular conversation was very meaningful, and creating Shape House was a bit of a, I don't think I created Shape House. I think I wanted an opportunity for me to sweat in the way that the beds that we've developed allowed. And I had a bed for me, and then I brought in another one for a friend because I was
Right.
bored. And then it was like,
Right.
watch TV, why not? So we created this whole experience that made sweating very easy and very fun and very lay down, watch TV. You can always do that.
Right.
As tired,
Right.
injured,
Right.
pretty
Anytime.
much anytime you can come and do that, other
Yeah.
than your hair curls and you have
Right.
to
You're yeah.
blow
You gotta
dry
get your hair
that.
done.
We're in LA after all. And
That was
so-
always an issue for me.
I know, it's an issue for a lot of, it's an issue for me. So I just, at some point when I was doing the process, it became more important to sweat than to have my hair look a certain way.
Yeah.
So I chose to do that. You know, Shape House is a bit of a, it's still in some way a little bit of a mystery to me. I feel like probably like when you
Interesting.
deliver a child,
Yeah.
you don't know what it's going to become.
Okay.
And if you know what it's going to
True.
become, there's something you're doing in your parenting that's probably not correct.
Right.
Like you're not listening.
It's always evolving
You're-
and changing.
yes, and it's
Yeah.
and people, you know, people always ask me like, where are you in 5 years? I was like, I don't know where I would be in 5 years. 5 years ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can tell you that sweaters are growing. I can tell you that people are loving the experience. I
Yeah.
think we're transforming wellness to be more of an act of self-love, not yet another thing that we have to do, we don't want to do. Society tells us we have to do it in an environment that we all detest with our hearts, with our
Right.
little hearts.
Yeah.
I don't do things that that I detest. I just
Right.
don't. I'm 50 years old. I'm done with the age of, you know, I just don't do things that I don't want to do.
Like. Yeah.
And especially if they're, you know, some things that are supposedly good for me. It's like, what could be good for me that I hate to do? Like there's something about it that just does not, the math don't work for me.
Yeah. It doesn't
So
correlate.
I discovered that I, for instance, love to dance. And so I have a dance class that I go regularly. I discovered I love boxing.
Yeah.
So I box a good amount. And I discovered that riding a Harley to the ocean is really my passion. I didn't know.
That part is so
I do that.
fabulous.
I ride
yeah.
my Harley to
right.
the ocean, which some
Right.
people would argue is not a sport. I disagree. I
Yeah.
think riding, especially in LA, requires a focus and a presence that's certainly as meditative as other things one would do. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So it just must feel like amazing to have these people go into your shape houses, and they do come out different people.
They do.
I mean, and you see it, you
Yes.
watch it, and
Yes.
you know, you get the emails, you get the texts, or you know, you get all the testimonials from these people changing their lives.
It is the most rewarding. And I'm a therapist by trade, so I was always in the business of someone walks in with a certain something and
Right.
supposedly comes out with something better.
Right,
So I
right.
was always into that. This is striking. Like,
Yeah,
especially we just
yeah.
opened in New York.
That's
New
right.
Yorkers are very stressed. I mean,
Yes,
we all
they
knew
are.
that. But they walk in and you look at them and they're literally, their face is like a little, like it's really-
Twisted.
people are very stressed. I mean, it's a very stressful city, granted. And so they walk in and then I see them walk out. It is the most rewarding. I wasn't even there. Like,
Right.
as a therapist, you get to sit there for an hour with
Right.
them, not as a sweat. So they
Right.
walk in there in a place that's often very stressed, and also sweating helps all sorts of ailments. Like people sometimes don't sleep very well. That helps tremendously for people that can't sleep. And sometimes people walk in with chronic pains and that takes it away, and migraines and hormone imbalances. And I'm not a doctor. I don't even know. I can't exactly tell you because I'm not a doctor and I don't mess with that. But I can tell you that there's a commonsensical thing that happens when you take the trash out of the house. The house smells better, feels better, looks better.
It's lighter.
It works better.
It's cleaner.
It just works, exactly. And so does our body.
That. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big, because I've done all those cleanses and do my own soup cleanse at the moment. And I just think that everybody that I talk to, have you ever had an infrared sweat? Have you ever done that? I mean, so many people don't know what it is, haven't done it. And it is one of those deep penetrating sweats. They don't even know the difference between going into a sauna or going into a dry
it's
sweat.
Very different. And it is interesting for me too to see the culture has evolved. Like 5 years ago, I would talk about what I do and people would look at me like I'm a giraffe or something. Like, what are you doing? What? And I didn't care because I think when you're on a mission, you just go, you do your thing. I'm pretty sure when you started with a cleanse with soups, people were like, what? Like, what is that? So I think that when we're, gifted, a mission like that or a purpose in life, it becomes, I don't care. I mean, it's not like I don't care. I just don't. Are you serving this purpose or do you not? And if you don't, then I'm just going to go over there and continue what I'm doing.
Follow the passion.
Follow the passion.
Right. And you already know in your heart of hearts and in your body and in your cells, you know what you're doing is a good thing.
And I did it. I did 200 sessions when we first opened. I wanted to see the limit of that thing for myself. And plus, he was gonna, I was gonna get in business with it. I really wanted to see, where it went and what the limit were. And 200 sweats. I mean, other than I was slightly dehydrated because I stopped drinking water. Because I got bored with drinking water. I mean, other than that, it was just. I mean, I felt like I've never felt better in my life.
Right. You feel euphoric. I know I felt that.
You do. It kicks you endorphins. Very much like when you work out, and so you walk out slightly. People do question am I high?
That's
high.
I love that.
When you get high, you kind of are looking for what you just got from cleansing your body.
Right. Well, I ask all my guests at the end if they had to sum up their mission in one word.
Wow.
Would you be able to do that? I know. I know that's hard for you.
Service.
But
service.
That's great.
Entirely.
Oh,
Thank
I love you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Are we good?
We are good.
Woo!
Do a quick preview for
Yes. Oh, now you're in trouble.
Stay there. Into this camera, you're going to say your name, what you do.
Can you send those to me?
Every time you can ask me every time.
I know, I love it.
And every time he says yes.
You didn't send it last time.
You're right.
So.
Honestly, our
Andy.
connection's been bad. He probably airdropped you and it didn't.
Oh, because he didn't send me the last one. He sent me the taping, but didn't send me the last one. So.
All right. So into that camera, say I just had a great conversation.
In the camera?
Yeah.
And we talked about this, and this, and this, and this. You're going to want to watch this episode. Alyssa Goodman on her show on Focus TV. We talked about all these different things, wellness, everything else. You're going to want to see it. It's a great being here, that sort of thing. When you're ready, and stay into the camera.
Where did I go long on this one?
You can take a minute to think about it. When you are ready. Wait. All right. When he stops.
No, he's gonna stay right there.
He is. That's
Get
fr-
close.
He's a biker buddy. Don't say anything.
Damn.
Oh, the gardener.
Go ahead for now. You don't pick up that sound. He's just hanging out. Go ahead, you're ready.
I'm Sophie Sheesh. I'm the founder of Shape House. I was on the show today with Alyssa Goodman. We had a wonderful conversation about weight and the journey of hearing ourselves and listening to ourselves and having more self-love. I really recommend you watch this episode, Alyssa Goodman show on focus.com. On Focus what?
She got there.
I was so close.
They were so close.
All right, stay
What
there.
is it on?
It's on Focus TV.
Focus TV.
Focus TV. That's very cute.
That's okay. Don't we have a
I
Don't
was
you have
looking everywhere.
Focus.com?
Where is that? Where is that? All right, let's do it again.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Stand by for the card guy. Move down.
He's now coming inside the store. Alyssa Goodman. Alyssa Goodman.
I know I have to do that too. Sophie Sheesh.
Wow.
Sophie Sheesh. Are we like?
Is he coming inside?
Like you said, is he coming in?
What's that?
He's coming inside the store just to.
Emma, At the end here, can we just get a picture of maybe a boomerang of
With our shoes,
Our
we have to
sexy
see our
girl-
shoes.
yeah.
Okay. High. Moving way up. Okay. When you are ready, go for it.
I'm Sophie Chiche. I'm the founder of Shape House. We just had an amazing conversation with Alyssa on Alyssa Goodman Show on Focus TV. We talked about the journey of weight and self-love and discovering Shape House and sweating and just having a protocol of wellness that is really coming from a place of self-care. Watch the episode.
Woo! Woo! Good
That
job,
was
girl.
good.
Okay, should we sit with the boots or stand? Sit, and then like just kind of wait.
Every show, every time you and I take pictures, we have the most amazing boots on.
We do.
Requisite
That's funny.
picture here.
Oh, should we not do the boot thing?
Yeah, I'll get you through in a minute. Right here, right here, right here. One more. Good portrait one. Here we go, here we go. Hold on. All right.
Okay.
Are you getting the
My
boots?
veins are sticking out of my head
Yeah.
because I smile.
Oh, you look good though. Your eyes are
Thanks.
so sparkling. Are we getting
Should
the
we do
boots?
like a boomerang?
Cut sound, Victoria. And
Tell us 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to mix the sound.
Is it fine?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, it's adorable. Yep.
Are we seeing my
Yeah.
underwear?
No. Oh.
My dress was up. No?
No. No. I think if it
Unless
was,
you're wired,
if
unless
you,
you're wired, okay,
I know. If your dress was shorter,
All right.
you
I'm
probably.
gonna take that. Thank you.
I guess. Oh damn! I have to take it off because I'm changing my blouse. I hate that. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
You aren't going to be at the Soho House today, are you?
I am going to Soho
Are you? Tonight. Oh.
All right. Come on out this way.
No, I'm just meeting someone.
Are we moving
I'll
on?
just hang on to this, and then I'll change really fast.
Kelly, come on in. We'll wire you up.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys not met? No. Sophie. Kelly, nice to meet you. Yeah. I've been to your Shape House before.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. I know, it's massive. Yeah. So good. It is. Kelly, I love your name. Oh, thank you. Wait, what?
None of us are posting because the Wi-Fi.
What? A lot of people keep saying that.
It says posting.
Really? That's so disappointing.
We just opened one in New York.
More what? Should be working. You know when her birthday is, by the way. She's having a big party of all her friends and her.
Ginger chicken?
No, scarlet chicken.
When's your birthday? December 20th.
Well, you can get whatever they got. It's fine. Yeah.
Then you want the ginger?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. No, it's okay. I like it. Just get it.
Are you guys ordering food? Hot garlic chicken.
Great. Great. Great.
Why don't you text me if you're interested, and then I can set you up with
Super
a
fun
phone
working
if anyone comes from you to get a free session.
Super fun working.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Donuts. Yes, her birthday. Her birthday's on December 20th.
West Hollywood wants to see her.
So we're definitely looking at a shorter introduction this time.
He would not take a patient on unless it would agree to sweat. Like in his
I
mind.
like having a little diarrhea in my mouth.
Like in his mind was like, I'm not doing it.
I know.
What you do it again.
I was going to cut it, but then I wanted to see how long you could go, like Castro.
Can we?
Yes,
Can we?
you can edit that. But I might not, just so you can see it.
You want to just just show it to me and
No, there's nothing to see.
just so I could see, you
Yeah.
know,
So you can do it next time.
how I handle it.
Sorry, your guests are very active.
No.
You have very active guests. Right?
They have a lot to say.
Yes, they do.
I should let them start it already.
Okay.
Scott left.
Okay.
It better feels
then we go from here. So
Okay.
just for an hour,
Okay.
like 11 or 12 o'clock,
Leave at 11 or 12? Okay.
something like that.
Great.
A lot of, it's just that they, by putting the microphone in their face and everything else, the experience that they would get. It's all about it's more about the relationship and the person. Just that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I'll send you a message.
Yes.
This afternoon.
All right, cool.
And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Get her in here. But you gotta be right on.
Emma, don't come in.
We have to mix this. So did you dump that?
I did. I don't think that
It's downloading, right?
it's downloading. Yeah, it's not even.
All right, my loves, it was fun to be here.
Just want to give you guys some glasses too in case you feel like I need to try your house.
Beautiful.
Ooh, these cards.
Yeah.
Feel this.
They're both good for a free session, so feel free to bring somebody with you or use them both for yourself. Whatever you like.
Thank you.
For locations you want.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Still not listening.
Here you go. You can post out. In the meantime.
I'm just gonna.
When she's done with you, no, I have to run through long before she's done with you.
Super pleasure. Thank
So
you.
nice meeting you.
Make sure you guys have passes.
Yeah,
You got that.
I do.
You got some passes?
I did. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Kelly, come on in.
Oh my God.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. Really good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
Good. Trying to like calm my body and be in LA for a little while.
Oh God, I know, because it's been like a crazy frickin' year for you.
Yeah, it was a little wild.
A little wild, good and wild.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
Plus, also the travel seemed like really cool.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
was that just fun travel when you?
No, that was all for the book.
It was.
Yeah.
Even when you went across out of the
Japan
country.
was
Yeah.
our vacation.
Okay, that's what I
I
thought.
put our vacation in the middle of the book tour. 'Cause
Okay.
I was like,
That was smart.
I could stay home for 2 weeks
Yeah.
and just like, but
Yeah.
knowing like me, I would have taken on clients and I
Right.
would have gone to events, and so I was like, where's the
So
farthest
you
place
can't.
I can go in the world so I can chill out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so-
that
Japan.
definitely did it.
Yeah. Kyoto. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to be lost
Let me
in
get her
translation.
sheet. Yeah, that was really smart of you. Super, super. I thought so, and also, but I was so surprised that you did it in between.
Yeah.
But that was also brilliant as well.
Well,
What did I just do with your?
if we don't leave, we won't go.
I know, I know. And I did interview.
I feel you. Ooh, I like this.
Thanks. I interviewed. You're so sweet. And I'm like, I'm so.
I asked her last time. I was like, Alyssa's kitchen probably looks like not, right? She's like, it does.
It's not. It does.
Yeah, there's no mess anywhere. It's like,
Yeah, that's true.
Just like-
That's isn't that a little?
Fresh fruit.
But that's a little. It's a little anal. That's a little anal.
Can we just go to your house and just interview you in your kitchen?
Yeah.
All right, you're all set. Yes, where's yours?
I'm kind of in a weird. You probably have to
I'll take care of
do
it.
that.
You're going to
Go in there. What was I gonna ask?
Where's the wire?
Just gonna ask you
there it
something.
is, babe. Okay, we can do, I'm just gonna leave
I'm
it
like,
like
am I
that.
going to turn off my mic?
Let's get a mic for Alyssa.
Hello. Hi, sexy lady. She's an actress going to. She's like she never dresses like that, but it's where she's going for an audition
Oh,
afterwards.
I'm gonna actually move over a little bit more.
Not Emma. Emma's my intern.
Like, I normally dress like this, I just don't at work. That's
Yeah, she doesn't at work.
You're bringing your sass
Victoria?
and your booty.
Yep. She's got all of that when she's not dressed like that.
your daughter doing?
Better. Better. Chilling.
What's going on?
And sound. What's that?
It's so hard. Oh God, don't tell me that. I'm gonna start trying.
People that have kids, so you see it.
Yeah.
But it's just sometimes my older one. I think we might have talked a little bit
talked a
about.
little.
Yeah. She's 22 and she's actually working for Kelsey Patel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she works for That's a Retrograde.
Yeah.
She's like weaning off.
Wait,
of,
no, I saw